What's up, everyone? It's Diecastbuffet here again, guys. We have a 2025 Kyle Busch Race to Win Truck Diecast in the studio. You know I love these truck diecasts. Let's check it out. And here we go, folks. Diecast in hand, the Kyle Busch Atlanta Race to Win. It's crazy to think how many truck wins this guy has. He has the all-time record, and it's really a shame. A decade ago, they didn't really make much 164 race to wins for whatever reason. Even when Dale Jr. would win, sometimes they wouldn't make them, right? Could you imagine if they were making truck 164s a decade ago and specifically raced wins? Kyle Busch would have like 5 or 8 raced wins every year just on the truck series. Just amazing how many wins this cat has. You have, of course, the Spire Motorsports box design. I'm not sure if we're going to get any more Spire diecast in 2025. I mean, they run a lot of different paint schemes, but you know how it goes. Us truck series collectors, it's very far and few between in terms of 164s getting produced. Hopefully the MOQ will kind of help with that a little bit. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and open up the diecast. Let's take a closer look. And here we go. Diecast out of the box. And check out this truck paint scheme. This thing's awesome, man. So one of these things I like to really look at when it comes to race to win truck diecast specifically, because we get so few of them made. I want to see, is this one more of a caked in damage and confetti truck, or is this one actually pretty darn clean? And to be honest with you, I don't see much damage at all. So if you're, a diecast stop motion maker or anything, this could be a great diecast to use in your stop motion, because it wouldn't stand out like, if you had a truck that had confetti on it, it probably wouldn't look as good. You know what I'm saying? Let's go to the front of the diecast here. You have the Craftsman front windshield banner, which I've noticed the Craftsman banners on the raced wins are a little bit different than their standard ones, so that's kind of interesting. You do have a semi-gloss sheen to the entire truck. You got Gainbridge right there. Visit Gainbridge.io. I forget how many Gainbridge paint schemes we have had in 2025. I mean, they've sponsored Xfinity, ARCA, trucks, Cup Series. I want to say everyone that's like affiliated with Spire has had some sort of a Gainbridge paint scheme. So I mean, you literally could have like 4 or 5, maybe even 6 different numbers that have had the Gainbridge livery. I think even the '07 truck had it on there as well once or twice, because they have multiple trucks at Spire. So just really interesting. Got the blue to the front of the Silverado here. Got the number 7 ARP Sudoku there. Got the carbon fiber right there on the top of the splitter. That looks really cool. Got Spire Motorsports right there on the left side. And we go to the left door panel of this truck. I'm going to try to zoom in here. Bear with me so we can get a really good look at all the little dirt and grime. Now, you can't see it on the yellow there, but I mean, again, if you're doing a stop motion or something, I mean, it's so finite, I really don't think it matters. But I would definitely classify this more of a clean version, which low-key I kind of like. When we get these paint schemes and they only make a raced version of it, you never get a clean version. Well, congratulations, that's the only variant of it. To me, I really wish they would make a clean and a raced version of every diecast. That's a lot to ask for, but that's just the dork in me, man. I can't help it. So you got Ballo? I have no idea. Anyways, Group 1001 Gainbridge. There, I like the yellow outline to the gas insert. That's pretty cool. Got Garner Trucking Inc. Safety clean. Kyle Busch signature right there above the door panel. Chevrolet with Spire. HendrickCars.com. That is pretty cool. I mean, it's pretty cool to see Kyle Busch somewhat affiliated with Hendrick again. That's kind of cool. Nations Guard and Garner Trucking. Got NASCAR race truck there. Craftsman Truck Series, SKF, Cometic, Lincoln Welders, Holly, EFI, Tilton, Jessel, whatever the biff that is, and a whole bunch of other logos I don't recognize. Got Goodyear there. And you go over to the back panel of the diecast, you have Gainbridge.io. Notice on the raced versions, you do see the faux brackets on the spoiler. It's completely flat and flush, but you can see the three-dimensional look, so to speak. Got Silverado there with the bow tie on the license plate, number 7 with a little bit of damage. So there's just a little bit of damage right here from the raced version aspect. But again, I mean, out of everything on this truck, except for this little right rear on the back bumper, it's pretty well clean. And I say that in a good way. Honestly, with this few amount of trucks we get, I really appreciate the clean raced versions because it almost feels like we just get extra ones. If you want to, buy one of these and make it look worn, you can, right? That's the beauty of getting a clean version, and then you could just make it a raced version. You feel me? A little bit around the right side skirt, a little bit of some scrapage there. You have your exhaust panel there. One thing that was interesting about this Atlanta truck race, and I was kind of curious if we would see this on the diecast. Perhaps we actually see it a little bit right here. There's a little bit of a haze of dirt. It's really hard to see. But if you remember, there was a red flag during the race, or they were parked in the back straightaway. And there was like a megalodon of sand dumped on the back straightaway or whatnot, of kitty litter or whatever they use. And the trucks went by and blew the stuff right on the racetrack. So the trucks are parked down here. Here's the inside wall. Here's the outside wall. Here's the racetrack, right? Here's the racetrack. So the cleaning trucks are going this way, and the crap's blowing this way. So you have all these trucks parked on the inside, and it's just blowing into the trucks. They show the onboards of it. It's just, I've never seen anything like that. So the point I'm trying to make, I think some of this dirt and sand was actually from the trucks going by on the back straightaway, the cleanup trucks, and blowing it against the NASCAR race trucks. So that is kind of a little bit of a lore, some lore to this truck diecast, I believe. Got Gainbridge right there, a better way to grow your money. Annuities, is that how you pronounce it? Built for the 21st century. I am terrible at English, so forgive me. Got Busch on the back window. I like the back windows of the raced version trucks. They're a lot more detailed because you can see the prints right there. Then you have Respect on both sides, and Chevrolet right there in the middle with your little wedge posts, where you can adjust the wedge on the truck or track bar. Got your rear, brake light or a running light? I have no idea on the rear of the cab. And then here's the other side, the spoiler, no team logo. So, what a really cool looking truck diecast. I have no idea if this is going to get made in the NASCAR Winner Circle line. So if you're a Kyle Busch fan, a Truck Series collector, heck, you could probably even role play if you had, your own diecast series, that this could be any of the Spire Motorsports drivers. Michael McDowell, Corey LaJoie, Carson Hocevar, whoever, right? So with it being a pretty darn clean truck, I would say probably a 9.5 out of 10, you could really do whatever you want with it, so to speak, which I think is really cool from a fan's perspective. So highly recommend it, man. Go ahead and tap in, pick up yours today over there at Circle B Diecast, assuming it's still in stock. If you haven't picked up the 2024 Kyle Busch trucks, highly recommend you do. His 2024 Atlanta win, the 2024 Texas win, really cool stuff. And I'll end the video on this. There's a little bit of a fun fact for y'all. I think it's 5 out of the last 6 Atlanta truck races, because they only run once a year, have been produced in the 1/64 scale. 2019, Kyle Busch. 2021 with Kyle Busch. They didn't make 2020. I think it was Grant Enfinger, but you know how that goes. 2022, I like Grant Enfinger, so it's kind of a bummer they didn't make that one. 2022, they made Corey Heim. 2023, they had the Christian Eckes. 2024, we already mentioned. So, for whatever reason, Atlanta and trucks, I don't know why, but they almost always get made. It's pretty darn cool. That's all for now. Have a blessed one. DB signing off.